Welcome to Paper Scandal Dungeon World. I'm Kurt.
It's not
we
written.
never did intros before.
Yeah, we've never done intros.
Oh
before.
yeah,
You
we don't
normally
do intros in this show.
We
Well,
normally do like a soft, like, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
yeah, I forgot.
And
It's
then we chat.
been a minute. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
I have discovered you can buy live scorpions on Amazon for $30.
Oh my gosh, I know what Handor's getting for Christmas. Not for me.
Oh my,
I wouldn't do that.
is Orestes frozen again?
I kind
yeah,
of thought maybe
Lord.
he was trolling us, but yeah, I think he might be frozen.
Okay, well, Orestes, you're just gonna be frozen, and when you get back, you get back.
Yeah.
So, hello everybody.
Hello, Dr. Nick.
Welcome to Pixel Scandal. We're playing Dungeon World today.
Yay!
This is episode 7.
Ooh.
So if you don't like spoilers and things, then you might want to go back and check out previous episodes. But don't do that now. Stay here with us and hang out.
So whether you like spoilers or not, you're getting them.
Yeah, you're gonna get them.
Here are all the spoilers.
This is our 3rd episode in Amarin, the city of Amarin, which I said correctly the first time and didn't have to say the whole string of pronunciations.
Yes, good job, Kurt.
Yeah. So if you'd like to just get caught up on this sort of arc, then you can start with episode 5 and catch up to now. So last time on, or actually, you know what? Let's do some intros. Let's say hi to everybody, because I read a thing where people want the cast to say hi, who they are, and who they're playing, so that they can clock voices.
Oh, right.
So I'll throw it to Wonderful William up there. Who are you and who are you playing? Oh, good.
There goes the cameras.
There goes the cameras.
You really should have like a backup overlay ready. So you can
Yeah.
switch it on the fly.
You know what? We're going to just deal with it. So he'll be right back. So, Wonderful William, why don't you introduce yourself while you're off cam?
I am Wonderful William, and I am the Bard Extraordinaire. How's my title doing? I haven't
your title
worked.
doing?
I really should improve it after that last game. But
I know,
so
I
far,
feel like you should have like gained a few extra.
yeah, I feel like I haven't, and I need to fix that. But right now, I am the Wonderful William, duly appointed representative of Endona.
Very well. And who are you?
Who are
Me?
you? Who?
Yeah, Night Sun. Okay. So, and that's Night Sun. How about you, Gidget?
So I'm Gidget. I will be playing Adelaide Ulari. I am the wizard. We are currently in my hometown of Amarin.
Amaranth.
And
Amirin?
Amarin.
Amiland.
Yeah, and I think that's it. And I'm a 4th level wizard.
Cool.
Is that how you introduce yourself on the street? It's like, hey, I'm Adelaide, 4th level wizard.
Yep. Yep. Of my correspondence course.
Oh, man. My correspondence course. How you doing, Handor?
Sleepy.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm doing very well. I'm doing
Isn't
very
it
well
like
for
noon there
Who do
for you?
Who are you playing today?
Noon 15. I am. Well, hello. My name is Handor. I am playing.
Hi, Handor.
I am playing Forrest Jedrick. I am a fighter.
Mm.
An A fighter. The fighter.
You
I am the.
The
I am. Yeah, I am the best.
Around.
Around.
Thank you. I have a I have a I have a very unique weapon, which is that I don't have a hand. It's a steel fist in place of a hand that I get to launch at people, which if you've listened or watched, it's pretty amazing. I failed up until the last episode. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You did so well
yeah, no,
last
that's-
episode,
that's-
though.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. it all came down to, in a culmination of just last episode, me talking myself up through, what was it, like 5 episodes to get to episode 6 and finally actually like punch something and have success outside of like a bird.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah. And we've said goodbye to Bufo last episode.
Yep.
Bufo the Buff.
Bufo the Buff.
Bufo.
He was a frog, right?
He was a toad folk.
He was a toad folk.
He was a toad
I'm
person.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to trigger people.
Well, welcome back, Orestes. We were doing introductions so people can get used to your voice and what you sound like and who you are.
Well, be just a second. I'm typing up an invoice so I can bill Comcast for troubleshooting their internet. Okay.
So, how you doing today, Orestes?
Shitty. Internet keeps going out.
I'm sorry.
Sucks. It's 3 times already in the last hour I've been awake.
Yes.
So
that's
who are
rough.
you playing and what makes them interesting?
I'm playing Raven, and I am Adelaide's familiar, the best familiar ever to
Toad best.
exist.
Very good.
Uh-oh.
All right. So last time on Paper Scandal Dungeon World.
Previously on.
Yes,
Mhm.
previously on Paper Scandal Dungeon World. The crew went to a party. They went to a party at the Wavebreaker Estate, where Forrest was meant to fight in a prize fight, and our illustrious crew was hoping that they could... Oh my, is he frozen again? I'm gonna
Yep.
just keep going. Our illustrious crew was hoping that they could... I just can't with the frozen face. Hoping that they could do something to destabilize the Wavebreaker family, because they were not dealing in slaves legally, but basically being slavers. And so they went in there, they turned up tables, and we met Raven, who is supposedly Adelaide's familiar.
I don't like it when you say supposedly.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the case. And they got to meet the family of the Wavebreakers, see how little they actually valued people, and or they think of people more as like an asset than actual humans, or even other non-human beings.
And there goes the cameras.
Oh boy. Okay. So we're going to finish this intro and then we're going to go to a 5-minute break and I'm going to build extra cams. So last time on, they went to the Wavebreaker Estate. They incited a riot. Wonderful William gave a beautiful speech,
No idea what you're talking about.
which incited some rioting by throwing parties for the townsfolk and then getting them to poison everyone's drinks.
And Bufo saved all of the animal folk that were...
Bufo saved all the animal folk down in the bowels of the Wavebreaker Estate. The whole place turned into a giant riot. Forrest defeated their prize fighter in a glorious battle. And,
His head came off.
yeah, and then they, I think they defeated the leader of the Wavebreakers.
I have memory of him not being a thing anymore. I just don't remember how.
The guy, he ripped his head off.
No, well, that was
Oh, that was the fighter guy.
yeah, that was the prize fighter guy.
He got shoved off a balcony, didn't he?
Let's see, his name was Locke Wavebreaker. So he was shot, I think, with some magic missiles. Yeah. And
That's right.
blown.
We murdered him.
Yes,
Yeah.
you all murdered
And then
him.
he fell off a balcony.
He fell off a balcony into a crowd, and then that sort of like shocked everyone and staved off the riot. But that leaves us wondering what's going to happen next.
Also,
Oh, that's right. He was an
uh,
outsider, and we saved
the,
we saved the city from him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he turned into a tentacle monster.
Yes.
And there was a fire. There was a very big fire.
There was indeed.
And Raven tried to help forest with his hands and turn his gauntlets back into hands, but magic missed and turned his head into a permanent headdress, I think.
Yes, he now has a flesh and bone headdress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular and terrifying.
Yep.
But if you'll excuse us for just a moment, we'll be right back. I'm gonna build up some a layout that doesn't have Raven in it in case he keeps dropping. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Before we left for technical difficulties, we went through our previously on. Here in the city of Amerin, the bustling Grand Bazaar, covered with horrible, beautiful birds, the different districts, all owned by their individual families. What are we as we zoom in and catch up after a couple weeks of interlude between the last party and whatever is going to happen next? I'd like to know from each of you what you've been doing in the intervening weeks. In the town, the mercenary service that was provided by the Wavebreakers has been disrupted for sure. Many people are starting to wonder where their checks are going to come from, or where they're going to be paid from. Not their checks, but and so there's sort of a lot of out of work mercenaries. Wondering what's going to happen, filling the streets there, as well as the tsunami, which was there to sort of overthrow the Wavebreakers and push back against the lawful evil enslavement of animal folk and others. So I'm curious what you all have been doing over the last 2 weeks. Let's start with Wonderful William. That's right. So, are you... Oh, go ahead. Are you attempting to, like, move in on the Wavebreaker house at all? Or are you just sort of garnering favor with the people of Amarin? Hmm. Well, I think... Right. Well, you definitely get a meeting with Sunder, who was sort of the second in command at the Wavebreakers over the course of those 2 weeks. I think he calls you to the Wavebreaker estate. So the Wavebreaker estate is in it's not, it's not covered in the
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Rando in chat just said that we can't hear Night Sun.
Because I forgot to turn the desktop audio back on when we came back from our break.
Okay.
Good technical difficulties. Thanks, internet.
So to review, hosting parties, they're exciting, and we're making sure that everyone knows that a horrible tentacled monster was ruling the Wavebreakers, and that they are in desperate need of new leadership who has not been influenced by his, by the deeps.
Perfect. Yeah. So, hearing rumblings of your, what you're doing around town, and your meeting with him at the fateful night when his house sort of fell to pieces. He calls you to a meeting, and when you get to the Wavebreaker estate, there's none of the what do you call it? Filigree? There's all the banners are down. Everything's sort of... It looks like they had maybe like a big riot there. There's a lot of stuff
Don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff sort of burned out. And there are some mercenaries, but there's much less than there were before. And so you sort of just enter, right? You can make your way in. There's not anyone stopping you at the door. And you find Sunder sort of set up in a right off of the foyer. There's a big meeting room with a huge table, and there's tons of ledgers out, and there's like 3 or 4 people who are scribing in books, and he's like, how is this doing? How's that doing? Because word of their issue has like spread to some of their smaller settlements and towns that they have control over, and so he's trying to he's like, and what of Black Fountain? What have you heard? That kind of thing. As you enter, what's your grand entrance?
I just walk in. Hey, how's it going?
He goes, yes, William, please. And he looks at the others, is like, we'll come back to this. And he kind of moves, heads over to you. And you can see out on the table there's like a map with little markers on the their territories and things. And he says, please walk with me. And he sort of walks out of the room with you.
All right. Well, I follow.
Do you try to get any? So you just follow. So he's walking and he's like, I have to say, your showmanship at our last event was exceptional. I was very impressed with the way you were able to command a crowd.
Yes.
Go
on.
I am amazing.
Please tell me more about me. Well, listen. We've had some struggle since you unveiled the villainy that was Locke and his connection to dark forces.
Yep.
But we've had some trouble keeping the common folk sort of in line. And I was very impressed with you and your ability to sort of steer the room.
Go on.
All right. Well, we've lost something with Locke. He despite his faults, he was a very charismatic leader, and he inspired the men.
Would you say he influenced them?
Sure. But he was someone to look up to for many of our soldiers, and with him out of the picture, there's been some unease and uncertainty. And we could really use someone of your magnitude to sort of help bring toe the line, as it were.
Toe the line. And what line would that be?
Well, just reassuring everyone that, of course, they will still receive their payments. No need to abandon their posts. The family is doing fine. One man did not a wavebreaker make. That sort of thing.
Well, I would find it hard to support an organization that still bore the mark of the dark influence and all the dark practices that he had undertaken.
Well, of course, you and your friends destroyed that influence that day. It went no further.
All right.
I can assure you.
Does he seem on the level?
He seems. Do you want to discern realities?
Sure. That's
think-
a button I can push. Boop.
Ooh.
All right. What do we? A 4. Oh yeah. I mean, he seems really convincing. He definitely seems like he just wants the best for his house. Like, I mean, he really they just need you.
Doesn't
And
everyone?
I mean, honestly, this is a golden opportunity for you.
Yeah. Well, I will see what I can do.
That would be excellent. We'd like to show a strong presence at the next engagement, at the next party. So, because life must go on, and we'd love it if you could represent us at that engagement.
All right.
Show up as the Wavebreakers.
I will see what I can do.
Of course. Well, I really do need a bit of a commitment here. I'd like to assign you a retinue to handle any of your needs, and of course make sure that you're safe and taken care of. Can we count on you, wonderful William?
That seems acceptable.
Very well. I'll have one of my people draft up some paperwork, and of course we'll get your people assigned to you.
All right.
Where are you staying?
What was the
You're
name of
welcome
the
here,
inn?
of course, but
What's the name of the inn? I can't remember now.
oh shoot, I forgot what we called it. I don't know that I. I do not recall the name of the inn. You can name
The
it
place
anything
that
you
you-
like right now. Huh?
The place that you hijacked?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's call it the undisclosed location.
but it was disclosed. People know where it is.
Yeah, everybody knows where it is. Let's call it the
Custom of hospitality.
sure, the custom of hospitality. I like it. So so you've been staying at the custom of hospitality. It's a bit of a rough place, but I hear it's coming around.
Yeah, the parties are really nice.
Very well. I'll have your retinue sent to you at the custom of hospitality.
Perfect.
Before you leave, if you wouldn't mind, my one of my associates will go over everything, all the details for you.
All right.
Okay, so he's just made a round, and you're back to that like war room area, and he says, "If you'll excuse me, it was excellent seeing you." And he sort of heads in, and this like little dude with a scroll comes out, and he's like, "Okay, so sir," and he's like going through stuff on this paper, and like you're expected to this, and you're expected to that, and all that stuff. Do you like review it, or do you just what do you do?
I review it.
What are you looking for specifically?
Any oddities?
Well, it seems like
these are people that have engaged in tricky deals to enslave people.
right. So you kind of go through it, and there's definitely some language in there about like non-competition type clauses, right? Like where you wouldn't represent another house while you're also representing the Wavebreakers. And it like goes over all the things. Like the big text is all the things you get. Like you get an armed guard of 3, no less than 3 veteran soldiers, and you get a personal assistant, and you get a clothier to take care of your dress, and like here's all the things that you get, right? You have rooms at the Wavebreaker estate if you wish them. And then like down in smaller print further down, there's like, will not compete, will not, speak ill of Wavebreakers, like all that stuff.
All that stuff. See here.
So what are you thinking? Do you want to come back around?
Yeah, go ahead and pause for a minute on me.
Okay. So yeah, so we fade out of you sort of going over this scroll and giving a side eye to the camera. And I want to pick up with Adelaide, Raven, and Forrest. What are you all doing over the course of 2 weeks?
So I would probably try to talk to Raven about the spell that he cast on Forrest, and try to find out what spell that was and how it worked, and probably try to come up with a reversal ritual or something to undo the magnificent headdress that is now a permanent feature on Forrest's head.
All right.
So, Raven, what exactly did you do to Forrest?
One time,
That was
like
camp.
I saw my master, and he did the thing where you put the arms together, and then you take the forearm. There was a Gralian, and you take the forearms, and then you put the 2 arms on the one side into one arm, and then the 2 arms on the other side into one arm, and then you have 2 really strong arms instead of 4 regular arms. So it was something like that, except I wasn't actually aiming at his head. I was aiming at another thing, and then his head did it. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know what that spell was called that your master cast to do the thing?
Well, I mean, no. He didn't really tell me the names of the spells. I just kind of watched him do the spells. And
Okay.
then
Do you remember maybe the stuff that he had on the table in front of him when he was kind of working the magic? Like maybe the spell components he was using to create the magic that did that?
he had books, and there was some candles, and like body parts of things. There was jams, all sorts of stuff.
Jams?
Gems,
Oh, gems. I think you said jam, like just a
Jams.
bottle of like Lullaberry jam just sitting there on the.
no, all kinds of stuff on his box on the table.
Okay. So let's see here. If I were going to try to figure out how to undo this spell, I'd probably have to figure out what spell it is. So, is there a library in town, or like a university, or something with lots of books?
Well, you know that the biggest library would be at Reyna's estate.
Right.
That's Reyna.
Right.
Reyna Kelsang of
The Kilsangs.
the sort of leader of this town.
Yeah.
Obviously, has the largest library. But there are
totally knew that because I spent so much time in the Kelsang's past.
Yeah, you sort of grew up in their palace.
Yeah, I totally knew that.
So you know that the largest library is there, but there are other there are ways for people who don't live there to sort of get a hold of arcane texts. Mm-hmm. So you could go to one of like a bookseller and see if they can get you.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't want the Kilsangs to necessarily know that there was a mishap with magic, seeing as I'm the wizard in town, and my family's kind of known for doing magic. I wouldn't want this, like, kind of accident to be associated with my family's name.
Yeah.
Since we're just now kind of getting back into the good graces of the Kilsangs. So I'd probably try to find, like, a book dealer or something like that to see if I can find some arcane tomes or something.
Yeah, you can definitely find a bookseller. There is it'll be on the Kelsang Rise.
Okay.
So do you take anyone with you, or do you head on your own?
I would definitely take Raven and Forrest both with me, because I'm guessing I'm gonna need Forrest's head to kind of compare what happened to what I'm reading, right?
Right.
And then I'll need Raven so that I can say, like, oh, this sounds close. Does this look like what happened? And try to, like, narrow down the spell as I'm doing my research.
Yeah. So first off, why don't you spout lore for me? Or actually, no, we'll do that when you get to the booksellers.
Okay.
So you travel. There's the Kelsang's Rise is not off limits to the other people of the city, but it's definitely guarded. Mm-hmm. And if you don't look the part, then you don't get to go up the elevator.
Well, I mean, Forrest has a pretty impressive headdress on, so I feel like
Forrest is a little terrifying, and you're an elf.
Yeah.
So you don't have any trouble getting up there. But you know that, like, your average street vendor couldn't just get on this elevator and head up to the Kelsang Rise.
Right.
And so you make your way in. They sidelong. They look at you a little bit like, do I recognize this person? Are they supposed to be here? And while they're trying to size you up, they see Forrest and like they shudder. And they're like, oh, this is definitely like this is some wizard problem. Like, and they just sort of let you on the thing, and you guys head up. And so you make your way up to the top part of the city. The view from up here is actually fairly spectacular. You can see down over the entire bazaar, and it's like a rainbow of feathers and cabana, covers and things like that. And off in the distance, you can see the Wavebreaker estate, which is there's still some smoke coming out from like places where things were on fire. Off to the left, you can see the Keys district, which is all brightly colored cloth covers and things like that. And then the other two, one of them is the Assam family is all like blacksmiths and refineries and things like that.
Right.
And then crafters. And there's a lot of like stonework in that area. And then on the flip side, you get the Sunil area, which is a lot of sort of warehouses in their area because they're a trading place. But they all have palaces within their borders, and so the city overall is quite beautiful. And you turn, and then you see the quality of everything up here is just a step above every other place.
Yeah.
Everything is like ornamentally decorated. All of the motif is like blacks and purples. All of the buildings are very. It's like stone with like black and purple trim. Everything is just a little more finely crafted up here. And off in the distance, you can see like a beautiful palace, sort of overshadowing everything up here.
Yeah,
with
the
huge,
Kelsang Palace.
Yeah, with huge spires and things.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of there's some shops and things that sort of line this main drag that just goes straight to the palace. And along the sides are either beautiful shops or little mini mansions, but they all sort of pale in comparison to the Kelsang Palace.
Yeah. So we had said that, my family didn't live in the palace, but they lived in a house just at the foot of the palace. So would like the house I grew up in most likely have been in this area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. So we got to find a bookseller, hopefully an arcane magic, and try to figure out what this spell is. This is kind of like a really fancy area, so we gotta pretend to be more fancy than we are. Okay. That means no punching people, Forrest.
I haven't punched anybody in 2 weeks. I'm on vacation.
Okay. Okay. All
But
right.
I have been very compelled to headbutt some people.
Yeah. Let's not do that either. If
I've got this new thing that I've been really wanting to try out.
Well, maybe we can find like somebody for you to fight when we're done here.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I also want to point out that the amount of attention I've been getting from the ladies after the event,
Has
even
just
with
been going down and down and down.
no,
as they forget
no,
about you.
it's I've gotten the most amount of attention like ever, and despite me having this massive deformity that's on my head.
Could it be because?
It might be. I have no idea. I don't know any.
I've definitely noticed the extra attention that you've been getting, which is why I'm probably keeping you more close.
He says attention.
normal.
I say gawking.
Right.
It's the first time I've ever heard of anybody refer to their face as a massive deformity on their head.
Okay, so start making my way down the street.
Making my way downtown.
Yeah, and trying to find an arcane bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
Look for transmutation books.
Transmutation.
Those are the best.
Okay, transmutation.
Or conjuration.
I'm so out of my depths with this kind of magic, but we'll see what we can do.
So you the shops aren't like specifically labeled, or rather they're not like the sort of silly signs that they would have elsewhere, but they do have sort of elegant signs outside. And you find one place called Dakini's Arcane Texts.
Okay.
And, what?
Nothing. We totally didn't lose the top over Rusty's head just now.
I said that down.
And it is a small little shop, sort of set in with a few other places.
Okay. You said it's called Decanties?
Dakinis?
Dakinis. Okay.
Kind of like bikinis, except for
Yeah.
D.
Well, Dakini, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
Doc.
bikini for dudes.
Dakini.
Dakini.
Oh, gee. It's a
All right.
dick.
All right. So
It's
we.
not a
one.
Dakini.
Good job. Good,
It's a Dakini.
Good,
All
good job.
right, so I'll
Good
go.
job.
I'll go to Dakini's shop.
I might need to go in there too.
And well, you're coming with me.
Okay.
And so so we'll go inside.
So as you enter there, like a young woman is leaving the shop, and she's got like a cloth bundle under her arm, and she sort of sees you, and she does like a elegant sort of bit of a curtsy thing, as you would do to an elf, and then she sees Forrest, and she's like, huh! And you can see like. And just like moves past as quickly as possible. Slipping around Raven, but really just staring at Forrest's head.
All right, guys. Here we go.
So it is a small little shop with shelves with books on them. They are all of the texts in here are like they're in these. There's a lot of like beautiful bound leather books on like one wall, and then there's like a rack of scrolls, or like scroll tubes, and then there are more like, I guess, sort of bound pamphlets, so like several pages that have been bound and wrapped in some sort of like lambskin to keep them safe, and different things. But for the most part, it's a little tiny place. There is just enough room to go around this one little shelf, and then there are shelves on the walls. But there aren't like a ton of books in here. And then you can see that there's like a way to go to the back. And then there's a little counter with like a young man sitting on a little stool, scribing.
Okay. So I'll go up to the man. Excuse me, sir.
He sort of takes his glasses off and he looks at you and he goes, "Yes, how may I help you, miss?"
I'm looking for something on transmutation. Do you have anything in that area?
Transmutation. All right. He sort of like folds up his little glasses and sets them down next to the thing he was writing. And he says, "Well, are you looking for
I interrupt him. I'm going to interrupt him and I'll be like, what we're looking for is to fix this.
And he's like, "Oh, Oh. So that wasn't always like that? That's new?
That is new.
Interesting.
Yes, it's
And
new.
he comes over and he pulls around a little stepladder thing and puts it next to you, and he climbs up and he pulls out some tape and he's measuring your head.
Hey.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've never seen anything like this before."
Yeah, me neither.
Yes, this is definitely some interesting, very very amazing, but
Yes, was this intentional?
well, I'm guessing you're behind me, Raven. So I kind of reach behind and are you there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, so I
Like
reach
looking-
around and kind of grab you by the
Mhm.
coat and pull you forward, and I'm like, "This is Raven.
Yeah.
Raven, could you tell the nice man what you were intending to do?"
What was I doing? I was trying. Yeah, I was gonna make his metal hands fleshy hands, and I missed his hand.
Oh, that sort of transmutation.
Yeah.
Mhm. The good
All
kind.
right.
He was wearing a headdress.
And he's looking at you he's really he goes for his glasses, but they're on the desk, and he's like, "Do I know you?"
Hmm. I don't know. Do you? I mean, I've been around for a while in this town.
Yes. Well, all right. Okay. Sure. So, flesh transmutation repair.
Is
Okay.
he giving Raven a dirty look?
No, he's trying to clock him. Where do I know you from?
Okay.
Might know my master, but I mean, he doesn't seem like this is the kind of shop that he would come to because you don't have very many very good books.
I'm sorry, I have very many good books.
Ah.
Just don't have them all at once. And he sort of turns and walks over towards the back shelf, and he's looking through, and he's like, "Oh, no, this is flesh to bone. No,
I'm gonna.
metal."
So knowing that Raven, that you're really good at hiding because you've been hiding from me for a very long time, I'm gonna kind of turn and whisper to you, "Go find something cool."
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna walk down the hallway towards the back of the store, knowing that that's where all the good stuff is, always
Yeah.
kept in the back.
Yeah. So, do you want to? Are you sneaking?
No, I mean I'm short. I'm probably just gonna walk.
Okay. Yeah. So he looks over and he's like, "Hey, what? You can't go back there."
What? No, it's fine.
No, it's not. It's not fine. Ma'am, could you please deal with your familiar for me? He can't go back there.
I'm sorry. His job is to protect me, and
Yeah, no, he
that
cannot go
means
to the back of my-
checking that there's no dangers that we
I assure you, there are no dangers in the back of my shop. He cannot go back there.
I mean, he has free will. I mean, you could just ask him.
Look, and he grabs a book and he's like, "Here, this is the one." And he comes over and he says, "Yes, flesh to metal." All right. So it seems. What was this? No, stop it. do you
From
keep
towards the
trying to
back
go
of
to the
the
back
shop?
of his shop?
Yeah, from towards the back of the shop. I'm not gonna stop walking. I'm just gonna. You can't read the spell backwards. It doesn't work. I'm just gonna keep walking.
What? Come, stop that! And he leaves the book out on his little table, and he starts heading back towards there to go and get Raven.
Awesome. So I start quickly writing down the spell out of the book into my notebook.
Okay.
Trapper keeper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
and your trapper keeper?
Trapper keeper.
So you quickly start scribing the spell.
Yeah.
To turn steel to flesh.
Yes.
So you're writing it down. And he's like, "What are you doing, Raven?" He's like trying to get you.
I am a quick study.
You are a quick study.
I have it as a move.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna like fight the guy, so I'm just walking back there to look for.
Just touching things.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's this?
Ooh, piece of candy.
I'll just walk by and like when there's a book on the shelf, I'll just like pull it out and drop it on the floor behind me. And be like, read that one.
He's like, stop that, and he like he picks it up really quickly, and then he like goes to grab at your shoulder, and he's like, come here.
Okay, I'll let him. I'm not gonna fight him.
Okay, so he's like got a couple books in his hand, and he's like got you by the scruff, and he's like pushing you back towards the front of the store, and he's like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but if you can't control your friend, you are going to have to leave."
Oh, I'm so sorry. Raven, we should leave this poor gentleman alone. Thank you so much for your help. I don't think I'm going to be able to find what I need today.
What?
There's nothing good in here, anyways. I've been here before.
That's a old-faced lie.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that your collection isn't wonderful. I'm just saying I'm looking for something particular, and at this moment, you don't have what I'm looking for, but I will definitely be back. You have some very nice tomes that, in the future, I think I'd like to purchase.
All right, well, good luck with you and your friend. And he, like, lets go of Raven towards the front of the shop.
All right, come on, guys.
You have a bad attitude.
What?
You heard me. You heard me. Hey.
Good luck with your face. And he, like, as you leave.
Good luck with your face.
Okay, so you guys leave?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you do next?
Okay, so once we're outside, I'm gonna open up my book and look at like what spell components I'm gonna need. What I Bufo and William helped me gather a whole lot of ritual components when they went and robbed the store. But I'm gonna go over the list and make sure there isn't anything I'm missing that we might need to get up here before we head back.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. So for a ritual, you need a place of power, which you have because the Kelsang Palace is a place of power. And then, so all right. So what exactly are the effects that you want to have? You just want to fix Forrest's head?
I want to unfuse the headdress from his head.
Okay. Well, I think it's gonna take a few. It's gonna take probably some time, a few days, to go through the ritual. You already know what the spell that caused it was,
Right.
So I think you're just gonna need, And you've still got like bundles of spell components
I do.
from before.
Yeah.
So I think you've got what you need.
Okay.
You just need to take the time to do the ritual. And it's gonna require like hand contact to Forrest for the duration of the spell.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna tell Raven that he can, you can go do whatever you want for the next couple of days because I've got some
That's a mistake.
serious magic to do. And I will, if I need your assistance, I'll call for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take a feather out of my cloak. Hand it. There you go.
I'm gonna take it. I stick it in my hand.
Call me with that.
Okay. So I would take Forrest back to where we're staying and set up like a ritual area, with like the candle set in a circle and like runes drawn on the ground in I don't know, chalk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, probably have you lay down on the ground so I can actually reach your head.
Yeah.
Because you're too tall. And,
Yeah.
and then start the ritual. Start, you know.
And
chanting
right before
and-
she starts doing it, I go, "Is there any way we could like add some flesh to some when you're doing this? Like take it from here and put it somewhere else?"
You know, Forrest,
Let's not complicate things.
I'm already, yeah, I'm a little worried about doing this at all. So let's keep it as simple as we can, and we'll talk about that part later.
Thought I'd ask.
Okay. It never hurts to ask.
Right.
Anything, you know, never hurts to ask.
Whoa.
I guarantee that question has been brewing in his mind ever since Kurt was like, "It's going to take multiple days and it requires physical contact."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think we see like we pan away from Adelaide and Forrest as they're kind of, you know, he's laying on the ground and I'm sitting there like with my hands touching his forehead and probably, you know, saying the words that need to be said to undo this spell.
Okay. So yeah, so
Frisbee.
you the spell that you have is the what is it? What did I say? Flesh to metal or metal to flesh?
It'd be the reverse of what it was.
Yeah.
Or no,
Yes.
it
Metal
would
to
be
flesh.
I think you probably got like metal to flesh, like whatever he was trying to do. So you have to like reverse it
Right.
over the course of your
Right.
ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spend some time figuring out what the reverse of that spell would be, and going through the ritual. So that takes a couple days, and it's like you're up for the couple of days. So
Yeah. It's
Like,
like intense.
initially it's probably not that complicated, but it's just like it's an endurance game, right? It's a long process. So what does Raven do for 2 days?
Well, I hear
bless you.
Thank you.
hear that there are some new parties happening in town,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll probably go to those.
All right. So are you going to what do we call it?
The Wavebreakers?
No, the
Oh,
Cosmo-
Custom of hospitality.
the
Yeah.
custom of hospitality.
Yeah.
Sounds like a banging time.
Okay, what are you
I'm
doing
not
at the
saying
custom of
anything.
hospitality?
Is that where Wonderful William is?
Sure. What did you like? What's Wonderful William up to? Did you leave with your contract?
Well, so what I did was, rather than sign it with my name, I signed it with a long string of text.
Explosive runes?
I prepared explosive which I prepared in the interim, so I'll just read it out.
Okay.
I will represent the Waybreakers and will continue to do so as long as they conduct themselves in a manner deserving it. But I would be remiss if I were to bind myself to just one people, as I feel I must represent all the people of the world with a good story to tell. And I hand it back to him and walk out.
Awesome. Okay. So the scribe takes it back and like you can see he's reading it and then he looks up and you're already like walking out and he's like, "Oh, sir, I just needed okay." And he disappointedly walks back in. So a few days later, we see you at the cause of hospitality. What is it? Custom of hospitality? Hospitality?
Hospitality.
Hospitality.
The custom of hospitality.
Yeah.
And Raven walks in.
And much like any other time, I don't notice him approach.
Yeah. So I'll just walk up to William. Be like, Adelaide, fixing For's head.
Great.
What's going on over here?
Just living the life.
Oh. Yeah, she told me to go do something for 2 days. I'll follow you around because you're her companion.
That's a word, yes.
Yeah. So I'll assist you since she's busy.
Okay.
All right. So I think someone like jumps up and they're like, William, tell it again.
All right. I tell them one of my many tales.
And like the party goes on. Everyone stops to listen when William talks. There's definitely a theme of like Down with the Wave Breakers going. Do you do anything to curb that theme?
Only insofar as basically give them an opportunity to see if they have broken from their ways.
Okay.
But you know, if they're still under the influence of the deep ones, then obviously they need to be stopped.
Yeah, definitely. And they're like, somebody there, is like a, what we call, like a miner, or someone who works in a quarry, sort of shouts up and they're like, I bet they picked up something over in, shit, what's it called? Is it Black Mountain? Blackstone.
Maybe.
I bet they found something when they dug down into Blackstone. That place is make me uneasy. There was evil in the earth there.
Yeah, and then I regaled them with the tale I had discovered of when Locke himself had broke the final brick into an ancient tomb under Blackstone and let loose a horrible evil.
That lived in him alone?
Yeah.
Oh.
We hope.
And like everyone's, or you know what? Why don't you, we hope. Why don't you roll your arcane art? Let's see what happens there. Oh yeah.
Oh,
And everyone's like captivated and they're like, oh, I never knew. I thought it was just stories. And you do hear like there's stories of, that everyone jumps in and they're like, yeah, and my brother, he came back with tentacle face too. Like everyone's sort of piling on with this, there's monsters in Blackstone. So that goes on for a little bit. You also find out, that, oh shoot, where is that? Blackstone.
Blackstone.
That the Wave Breakers have been trying to get like control of Blackstone, which is a quarry of like onyx. Because a lot of the buildings up in the nicer areas are built with this like black stone that they dig out
From Blackstone?
there. Yeah, from Blackstone.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. And so the Wave Breakers were trying to get control of Blackstone, so they would have like control over the
Blackstone.
over the Blackstone itself.
Well, obviously, to keep the deep ones safe was their ulterior motive.
Right. Definitely. To protect the deep ones. So you sort of find that out when people are telling stories. All right. Forrest, what is going on with you?
What's going on with me? I'm about to.
Well, choose your words carefully.
I honestly don't know how to view it.
Laying down.
This could be
Up in your
post-ritual.
head.
Basically,
Yeah, it could be
something
after the
happens-
ritual, it could be
something
before.
happens in the couple of weeks. Basically, tell us something interesting that happened.
Yeah.
And the ritual was successful, so it could be after your head goes back to normal.
Like you're still wearing that thing every day because you love it. Inside, you're deeply saddened that she removed it.
Well, I kind of wish she could have put it somewhere else. That's what I'm saddened about. Anyways.
That might get in the way of things.
Yeah.
It
Just,
doesn't have to stay the same shape.
down there, I
Anyways.
just have wind chimes.
Yeah. Geez, I don't know.
You said girls were fawning all over you.
Yeah. But my personally, not personally, as Forrest, I'm almost like a little bit jealous of Raven and all the attention he's getting. So like, I don't know why I said so. Like, I hate that phrasing. So
Cut me out of the picture. Come at me, bro.
So I am kind of. That's why I kind of brought up the whole the amount of tension that I had been getting. You know, it's like a teenage way of dealing with jealousy is to try to, you know, create jealousy for the other person. So I guess in a way, yeah, I've been spending some time, like, you know, being hand-fed grapes and being just praised for my
See,
strength and prowess.
you're saying that
Wink, wink.
you've accumulated some groupies
Yeah.
who were impressed with your fighting in the wave breaker.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And especially like from women that would never normally give me attention, like these higher class women that are, you know, women that I've never spoken with or dealt with before. Usually it was
piss off their parents.
just well-dressed, higher wealth category
Fancy
class women,
ladies.
I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
Fancy.
Do you have them over? Because are you staying with Adelaide at her parents' house?
Yeah.
So you have these. So you've invited a group of
Harem.
women to follow that or
Well,
have been following
I'm
you around.
Show
assuming
up
that
there.
after.
Don't bring floozies home.
Well, I'm assuming that after the ritual, because it took so many days, that Adelaide would like sleep for several days. So I mean, Boris has to keep himself busy. somehow.
So you,
Yeah.
I think
I don't-
over the
I
course
don't
of the 2 weeks, you would have, like, you know, in being in and around the town, you would have, you know, you could have accumulated a group of admirers.
Mm-hmm. For sure, yeah. And like I said, I didn't necessarily like. It's not like I'm going to get them or whatever and then bringing them back. They're showing up, and I'm just not turning them away.
Mhm.
Okay.
Despite however I felt during the ceremony and during the ritual, despite how, you know, the feelings that I started gaining after I first saw her, as you guys so eloquently put, the whole like iconic coming down the stairway in the dress vision, that you know, those emotions that were riled up within Forrest. So yeah, I'm just kind of angstily out of jealous accepting these women into my.
Makes sense.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
Claudette, Laurette, and Paulette.
Wait a minute.
I
My
know.
wife.
I know. I read those were the names of my sisters in another game.
It's also the names of the three girls who fawn over Gaston
Yeah.
in Beauty and the Beast.
Anytime you need three sisters.
Yeah, so Claudette, Laurette, and Paulette have definitely been following you around. And I think we see you after while Adelaide's asleep, because they finally got your like undivided attention.
Hmm.
When you're not paying attention to the bookish one. So they, they're like, we should go out into the bazaar and go shopping and come on. Like they drag you out into the bazaar to,
Do some stuff that I'm really not interested in doing.
yeah, to spend time with them. And you can kind of, like, one of them is like, oh, you look so much better now that your head is fixed. And the other one's like, no, I liked him better before.
And then you wake up in a bathtub and your liver's missing.
I don't think you wake up in the bathtub in that case.
But they definitely spend, like, they spend time each trying to find, like, common ground with you. So, like, one of them is like, ooh, what do you think of these weapons? And, ooh, what do you think of this? And they're trying to, like, pay attention to your interests.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're, like, showing you swords and things that you can't hold because you don't have hands.
Yeah.
You're on meat.
Yeah. So what does that look like? What's something we see Forrest doing in that time?
Well, at first he's very, just because he's so excitable. He's so easily excitable. Because this is new for him, and at the same time, like I said, he's jealous. So this is an opportunity for him to, I guess, let loose something he hasn't done in a while. So it's not so much like you'd normally see with Forrest, of him being annoyed easily or being frustrated. I guess he's kind of just being whisked away by these three women, and just it's almost like a whirlwind, right? Where he's just he doesn't care what they're saying. He doesn't care what they're talking about. Each one of them could talk about a bouquet of flowers, and he's as excited about that as he would be something that would legitimately excite him, which is to fight or to talk about armor or something like that. He's just so influential about all this. He's on such a level
You're on an attention
mindset
high.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just this attention high that he's got his arms around him and just letting him carry him around, or not carry him, but lead him around anywhere, really.
Mm-hmm. Is Forrest bald? I can't remember. Do you have hair?
Yeah, he has hair.
Okay. So, sometime over the course of this, like, they take you to a tailor and get you some, like, fancy clothes. So you've got, like, some they still leave your chests visible because they're like, this is, like, we got to do that. But you're wearing like this strap vest thing that sort of like closes like a cummerbund.
Yeah.
But leaves all of your chests visible. And like these super tight pants, and then your hair is like done up with flowers. And like one of them got you like this they got you like scented oils to polish your gauntlets with. So everything is like you walk in. They're like,
it.
"Ooh,
He loves it, yeah.
they turn a corner and like, oh, we should go in and get a drink, and they take you into a tavern, and you spot Wonderful William and Raven on the other side of the room, and you're just like super like fancy.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, hey, ladies, we should. I know a guy. I was just gonna say we should go to the what is it?
The custom of hospitality.
Custom of hospitality, yeah.
The advantage is I know exactly where it is on my character sheet, so I can look it up at any time.
I wrote it down. Custom of hospitality. It's right there.
You know what? I'm gonna put it in Twitch chat.
So they turn, and there's actually like a line of people trying to get in. And someone else has just sort of like decided that they're the bouncer and won't let people in. So they're like deciding who gets to go in. And they see you and they're like,
I totally know him.
yeah, they're like, oh my God, it's Forrest. Forrest. And they let you in. And you can see Wonderful William telling a story in the back of the room.
All right.
I interrupt my story. The Dragon Slayer himself.
And everyone turns and they're like, "Woo!" Like they all like rush you. And of course the girls are like, "Get back off! He's ours!" And just like swatting people away.
You now have girls for armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
So
sort of
they're like,
the
get back.
taller.
They're meat shields.
So they usher you over to a table and like force everyone away.
This is now the VIP area.
Yeah, this is now the VIP area, and they like push people out of that table, and they get to like, oh, and wasn't it wonderful when he did this, or wasn't it great when he did this, and yeah.
So I'm totally just enjoying this to the fullest. I'm chill. I put my hands back behind my head. I've kicked my feet up onto a chair, and just listening to them as they just shower me with this attention and this is something unlike anything I've ever experienced. So yeah, I am living this right now.
Yeah. So that afternoon continues on, and someone comes in wearing the clothing of someone of the Sunil family, and makes their way over to Wonderful William. And they sort of like run up and bow, and then they say, "Ah, good sir, we did not get the opportunity to formally invite you to the Sunil house party, but I've been instructed to do so now. Your displays were very impressive, and of course the Sunil family is grateful for your actions in Andona, and we would like to formally invite you to our event." And he holds out like a little marker thing.
All right, so I accept it. Thank you for the invitation. We will most certainly attend.
Excellent.
Hey, have a drink.
Oh, of course, sir. Thank you. You get the sense that he has to do what he's told, but he's not allowed to turn down your hospitality.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, excellent!" Like, thank you. And so he like runs off into the party, and we'll like fade from that and pick up with all of you arriving at the Sunil family house, if that's all right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. After a 5-minute break, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah.
Want to take a 5? Okay. So we'll do a 5-minute break, and then we will be right back to at the Sunil family get together.
Ready to go back in.
Hello, we're back.
Yay, break time.
And vetoed.
Everyone got to hear. I'm not ready to go back in.
In the context, would have been great, huh?
Yeah, bit of context. All right. So something I forgot to do at the top of the show is bonds, because a lot of the characters either finished their bond or didn't get to do bonds with each other. So if you guys want, we can go through and add your bonds right now, and then we can go into what this party looks like.
So,
I know what my bond is with Adelaide.
what is it?
What's your
Not
new
appropriate to be discussed on on a family channel.
I could say make babies.
I
I
feel
don't
like
think that's
not a
not
bond.
gonna get resolved anytime
I don't think that's a
soon.
good. I don't think that's a good bond.
Okay, fine.
Your
something
bond
else.
could be something about continuing to explore our
Well, it
relationship.
yeah, it could be a question, right? Like, will she,
Will they? Won't
will
they?
she accept me for who I am, or
What's wrong with who I am?
The
Will I
answer
ever-
is Thursday.
Well, what's the tension there? Like, will I gain the courage to ask her out?
Oh, God. Are we playing that high school?
I swear to God, if
We're not playing Monster Hearts.
if
I'm
we
just
suddenly
saying, what's
sneak into Monster Hearts? I'm out.
what question do you want to answer with that bond? Because that's going to make it easier to close your bonds.
Yeah, I have no idea. Just whether or not.
Will we end up together?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I had to think of one
Well,
for
anything-
Raven.
well-
Sorry, I didn't mean.
I'll
to
just
do
say, will anything become of Adelaide and myself?
that. Yeah,
Sure.
it's a good bond.
Anything more become of Adelaide and myself?
Yeah, because we're already friends.
Yeah.
Did you need one, Adelaide?
I need one for Raven.
Raven is.
The best around.
I am the best around.
Raven's never going to let you down.
Forrest is never going to let you down.
I think my
Forrest
question
spent a very
is.
long time letting us down.
I think my question is Raven actually devoted to me?
Mm. Is
I'm-
Raven really my familiar?
Yeah.
My bond with Raven will be, what's his story and how can I improve on it?
I like it. How can I improve it? Awesome.
Forrest, do you have one for Raven?
This always happens when Orestes and I play.
You don't know what
But
to
like,
make your
obviously,
bond?
I'm jealous of him. He's a freaking familiar. I don't know what that is, but I like. So I'm.
Figure out what a familiar is.
So I mean, it could be something like I'm jealous of his, of Raven's bond with Adelaide,
Yeah.
So you could resolve
or
trying to be
yeah,
jealous.
Or have no reason to be jealous.
Or have no reason to be
Yeah.
jealous.
I'm going
Oh,
through
yeah, you
puberty.
have
Sorry
no
about
reason.
that.
You have no reason to be jealous. This is not an emotional relationship. This is strictly a relationship. of-
Forrest doesn't know that.
This is
Forrest
strictly an
hates the
arcane
amount of-
relationship.
Forrest doesn't
doesn't
understand
understand.
feels, so this is all new to him.
Yeah.
Do you say females or feels? Because I feel either
Feels.
is appropriate.
Feels.
Yeah, I
Feels.
adjust my chair, guys.
Feels.
It feels weird.
What was that sentence? What did you say?
Something about
Jealousy?
jealous of a Raven's relationship with Adelaide. Do I need to be
Yeah.
jealous of Raven's
Right.
relationship with Adelaide? I like phrasing him as a question because then you can answer that question and resolve your bond.
Like,
Or should I
will-
should say, is Forrest's jealousy justified?
Sure.
Oh. All right. Anybody else have any other bonds that need adding?
I
all the
need,
bonds.
What?
yeah, I'm same here. I need a Forrest and an Adelaide.
Yeah,
Oh.
I need all new bonds.
Okay.
My
Okay,
old one
see-
with Adelaide was the secret, which I think is was
It's
resolved
out.
last time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
My
the only
my bond with you now is that William will help me restore my family's honor.
Mm.
See, and before my bond with you was that I didn't understand your ways, and they were unfamiliar to me. But you guys like basically hype trained me in in the thing, so now I'm like, oh, I like this guy, right?
Well, and I had you. Forrest is often the butt of my jokes, and you finally not been terrible at life.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to make fun
So
of
now
you
it's
when
going to
you're
be
winning.
Forrest is often the hero of my stories. What?
Yeah, so
Well,
I
let
think
me
I'm going
see.
to double down on Adelaide's.
I'm gonna go get it. No, I'll go get it.
Okay, so
Adelaide,
what's...
Adelaide, can we fix her story for good?
Oh, cool. Don't forget your water.
What,
Okay, so...
I'm trying to resolve something. I need something for you, wonderful William. Ooh, I got it. So, having spent some time living this lavishly,
Mm,
and that's never been something that Forrest liked or even would have considered or whatever. He is going to search for wonderful William to give him access to this lifestyle permanent, like, or
teach me your ways.
at will, at will. Yeah.
I don't understand your ways. Teach me them.
Teach
Yeah.
me how to live this life like I... Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Is that everybody?
Raven, do you have bonds
Man,
with
that's
us?
literally what I
Yeah.
was thinking of for Forrest on my end too.
Yeah,
You
my
gonna,
bonds.
you gonna show him?
My bonds are Adelaide would make a good master. William is I would like to teach him something about magic, and Forrest underestimates my abilities.
Oh.
Does he still, though?
I mean, really, I think that one's resolved. If I'm being honest.
We'll address those at the end of the session and see if Forrest still underestimates your abilities. Okay, cool. So you all arrive. Do you all arrive together, or do you all group up and then go together to the Sunil
Oh, the party.
house? Yeah.
By the way, I'm totally decked out. I'm still wearing the same clothes that the girls put me in. They probably stink.
I'm surprised you're not wearing like the fanciest of hats.
No, they put
can't get
flowers
my
in his
hands
hair.
Yeah.
Well, the last time he wore a hat, it went badly. So
It went to anybody puts a hat on my head, they're getting knocked out.
Got some hat PTSD.
Yeah,
Um,
serious happy.
So before we go to the party, though, I do feel that the key question has not been asked. What's the deal with the Sunil family?
Who are the Sunil family and what?
We've met them before.
Did you say-
they were
did you
the
say
merchants in the last.
Sunil.
Okay, so they're the merchants.
They're the merchants, yeah.
The
Okay.
Sniffy family. Sniffy.
Sunil. The Sunil Trading Company is they're all merchant families, but they have their own sort of like the Wave Breakers traffic in people. The
Textiles.
The Keys family is entertainment and like stuff like that. The was it
Samsonite.
Essam, the Assam family is like armor and blacksmiths and things like that. So they sort of create goods. And the Sunil family are the traders. Like they are the caravans, right? They get things from one place to another, and then they set up shops in small towns and sell stuff.
I'm sorry, would you say the Essams were?
The Assam family is blacksmiths and crafters. They are blacksmiths and
The artisans.
Masons, yeah. They're the artisans.
Okay. Sorry, just taking my notes like I do.
Yeah. They like build all the mansions and armor and stuff like that. And then the Sunil family takes that stuff to other places and sells it. And then, of course, the Kelsang family is arcane and magic type stuff.
Has the greatest fighter in the greatest city not been offered the greatest armor in all the realms because of my accomplishments?
So I think
Why
we
would
will
you
see
give the-
something like that happen now. I think we'll see something like that happen at this party.
But
Okay,
why
I'm
would
just
you
waiting.
give the greatest fighter in all the realms stuff based on your accomplishments?
What?
You said what?
What'd you say?
I said, why would you reward the greatest fighter for your accomplishments?
You have a problem. We're
So-
gonna resolve it.
I feel like the guys have been hanging out a lot this last 2 weeks, kind of without Adelaide because of the whole ritual thing.
Right.
So I probably would have shown up for the party separate from everybody.
Okay. So prior to arriving at the party, Wonderful William
and I
gets his
also-
Oh, go ahead.
I'm also bringing Jolette, Dalet, and Molly.
It's sorry. It is.
He's not learning their names.
It is
that's the point.
Claudette, Laurette, and Paulette.
No, that was
what I said.
intentional.
No,
I
no,
said.
no. He's
Yeah,
not learning their names. He just remembers
Claudette,
the
Laurette,
let
and
part.
Paulette are they wouldn't have let you go without them.
Right.
Um,
You're
yeah.
their pet now.
Yeah, you are their pet. So you can go with them. Wonderful William, you receive somewhere throughout the 2 weeks. You receive your retinue. It seems a little different than they described, maybe based on the way that you answered their question. You get two sort of guards or soldiers, and someone who says they're there to be your assistant, but they are mostly writing down everything that you say.
Taking notes.
Yeah, so you have a note taker and 2 guards. But they are
I keep correcting him on spelling.
yes, they are helpful. If you have questions about the wave breakers, they do seem very knowledgeable about the wave breakers and the city at large. All right, so they show up. So let's start with, since you're gonna show up separate, let's have the guys show up first, and then let's have Adelaide. She can make an entrance. So Raven, did you show up with the guys, or did you go back to?
I feel like over the course of a couple weeks, I probably would have went back to Adelaide and checked on her a bunch of times.
Okay.
Because, being familiar and everything. But I mean, if she's just asleep the whole time, I don't know that I would stick around for very long. But I mean, she's been awake, so I'd probably be with Adelaide.
Well, here's the thing. Did she call you when she woke up? I guess.
Oh yeah, because you gave her a feather and we're like, call me with
Yeah.
this.
I would have called you when I kind of recovered from the
The intensity
ritual?
of the ritual.
yeah.
Okay.
Just to let you know that everything went okay, and
Mm-hmm.
thanks for your help, figuring out what spell it was, and just kind of to let you know that everything's done and everything's okay, and probably because Forrest disappeared and wasn't there when I woke up, probably to say hey, keep an eye on him, kind of thing.
All right.
But I probably would have spent quite a bit of time with my dad when I wasn't sleeping. So,
And I would be with Forrest. Keeping an
Okay.
eye.
Keeping an eye on him.
Keeping an eye on him.
Okay,
And just
perfect.
passively kind of everywhere goes, there's, you probably wouldn't notice, but there's always at least a couple of actual ravens around,
Mm.
up on rooftops and stuff like that, all the time,
Cool.
everywhere.
They probably stick out a little bit compared to all of the beautiful brightly
colorful
colored birds that are
birds
there.
with teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time someone sees a blackbird, they're like, ooh, ooh. Like, they probably
even
see it
more
as like a
creepy
bad
than normal.
omen, right?
Yeah.
Like blackbird crossed my path.
Yeah.
So let's open up with Forrest and Raven and Wonderful William arriving with your retinues. What are some? Let's paint the scene a little bit. What do you all look like? What are some things that we see that sort of point out that these are the trade, like the merchants. These are the traders of this town.
Well, I'm adorned with women and fancy clothing.
I mean, they have names.
Shirt, pants, boots.
That's their names.
Exactly.
He said their names before. It's okay.
Lorelal, Daladil, and Malatim. And I am basically I'm trying to convince William to keep hyping me as we enter the
Like,
the
tell him
party.
this story. Tell him this story.
Yeah, tell him about, and then tell him, and don't forget about this thing. And Will's like, ugh, shut up.
And I think Wonderful William, your assistant guy, keeps reminding you every time Forrest is like, and don't forget about this cool thing that I did. He's like, and don't forget, sir, he is the official champion of the Wavebreaker family. Like every time he goes to mention something.
Just keep walking, and I would say that the Sunil, like, their crest is a wagon wheel.
Oh yeah.
If they're like the land traders.
Mm-hmm.
And it's adorned everywhere. It's kind of lavish. I would imagine that they're, as the transporters of all the goods, they're probably one of the more wealthier.
Mm-hmm.
And the guards are kind of sparse, or actually, I guess their guards will probably be a lot more frequent because there's probably a lot of free agents at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for any kind of work, and they're like, whatever, we could use a few more hands.
Yeah. So we see maybe guards that aren't in the typical like regalia of the Wavebreaker family. Like they aren't wearing their Wavebreaker mercenary tabards or whatever they would normally wear. So we see a lot of like a motley crew of help.
Yeah.
What else do we see, Raven, as we're coming into into this estate?
I mean, Raven doesn't notice too much about the estate because he's kind of busy just keeping an eye out on the Williams retinue person who's writing everything down.
Mm-hmm.
Raven doesn't really like that because if all of William's stories are put to paper, then anybody could tell them at any time simply by reading off the paper. And that loses a lot of the magic that is contained within these stories. So Raven's just kind of keeping an eye on that guy. What are you doing? Why are you writing down everything William says? Raven doesn't like that.
And you see he's like writing down everything William says. What was your name again?
Raven.
Raven. Thank you.
No. Later.
He like pulls his.
Well, I see that scroll turning into a snake at some point.
His quill is going to become a snake.
I hope his hand turns into a notepad, like a paper pad. It just melds into his hand.
So he's like, and he like pulls it away, and then he starts writing something else. And you're like, nobody said anything. What is he writing?
Yeah,
Nobody said
Serena's just
anything.
kind of really focused on that guy. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
He bless you. He gets a little closer to one of the guards that is supposed to be guarding William, and he's like keep an eye on that thing. He's like, goes back to jotting stuff down. And so like you guys are heading towards the entrance. I think there's a lot of those like big caravan carts, but they're like lavishly adorned outside, like to show like, look at our beautiful carriages that we use to transport goods and things. And they have a lot of like really so there's there's these people that decorate their camels. So they'll shave designs into the side of the camel and like so there's all these like beautifully decorated camels out there that are like, look at our super fancy pack animals. So everything is like showing off the stuff they can do, but it's all like super fancy and like adorned with ornate, carving and coloring and gems and fine fabrics and things like that.
Can I add to the scene?
Yeah.
So I think we also see a lot of really exotic, like different foods and tapestries and that kind of stuff, because it's like from other lands, like they traded with them for this. So it's not the kind of food we normally eat here. It's not usually, it's like maybe the musicians are like from a foreign land or something, so the music sounds really exotic and different because it's not what we normally like. It's everything here is supposed to feel like it's from somewhere else and feel very fancy, like oh, this is from that far off land, and the Sunils have access to all this like exotic stuff.
There's like all these fine goods from far off places that there's no prices on them, but it's known that you could purchase things here.
Yeah, and
you could take stuff away from this party.
Yeah, and they've got like maybe artists or craftsmen from other lands that like they brought back with them for this party. So there's like someone who's doing like painting on people's skin and giving them like temporary art kind of thing. Like maybe in that land tattoos are like a permanent thing, but they're just doing paintings here as like a entertainment for the party.
Yeah.
And just like different entertainment type stuff that would be like, oh, we brought these things back for this specific party because it's foreign and exotic. And
so would it be also safe to assume that I would be seeing as well, not just humans or elves, but also a plethora of
definitely
different races of.
Yeah,
okay.
There's we've sort of established that there are animal folk in this world. And so there's probably a lot of animal folk that are not servants but have been like joined the Sunil Trading Company at when the Sunil Trading Company came to their village. And so there's probably like a lot of animal folk here who are wearing like the Sunil family type clothing, or are wearing their, whatever their traditional clothing would be with like Sunil colors or something like that. And so they're like, you see a lot of them, but they're not working as servants. They're just here as here as part of the party.
Yeah.
Was there like other races of people that or other like fantasy races that you were hoping were here?
No, nothing in particular for for myself. Just I assumed that was something that Forrest takes notices easily.
Yeah.
There's definitely like people here from all over.
So you're not very subtle about stuff. So would you be like, oh my God, look, there's a like MP?
I was just gonna say, Forrest would totally, even though he's got these three beautiful women on his arm, he's absolutely like star-lording like the whole the way he approaches different races of women, and despite them being or with him, he's every time a female of the another race goes by or whatever, he's not being subtle about his
Gawking?
yeah, he's gawking.
So I think we get them like chiming in like, well, she's not so great, and here like pointing out flaws in people as they walk by, like
Yeah.
I would be much better at whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Like if someone's dancing, they're like, "Oh, I could do that dance better." Look at they fell out of that spin, or like so they're sort of talking trash in your ear to show that they're better than everyone that you're staring at.
Gotcha.
And like you guys approach, and their like greeter comes up and says, "Oh, well, we've been told of your arrival." And they look straight to you, Wonderful William, and say, "Oh, wonderful. What's your full title? Something of Andona?"
Wonderful William, duly appointed representative of Andona.
Ah, Wonderful William, duly appointed representative of Andona. We are pleased to meet you. Your reputation precedes you, sir.
Go on.
I love that that's become your catchphrase.
And so they sort of like heap some praise onto you.
Yeah.
And then they turn and they say, "Oh, and of course, Forrest, you were there too."
Yeah.
And who?
I am the ultimate fighter. Wow, that was bad.
Yes, everyone was very
I'm
impressed.
causing trouble.
I'm causing trouble. Everyone was very impressed with your handy defeat of that wave breaker. They sort of say it like it's a curse.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised that he was supposed to be the best fighter. I thought he was actually quite easy to defeat.
Yes, sick burn. Or something more, period. And so they're like, please, come in. And your retinue as well. And they sort of gesture to Raven as if he's just part of the entourage. Do you speak up or say anything, Raven, as they're like?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
And so they
I don't need to address the help.
So they yeah, right. They lead you in, and there's, excuse me, there is a huge buffet sort of thing in the center of this grand hall with foods from different cultures, like Gidget mentioned, and there is a around the edges, all of the like places to sit sort of look like caravan stalls. Like they're built out of these elaborate wagon type things.
Like when you go to Knott's Berry Farm and it's like a half a wagon and you're watching this show.
But it's all really finely crafted and everything. And so they sort of have it like as if they'd circled the wagons. But it's but it's these beautiful caravan things. And then there is like a grandstand at the far end, where people can get up and make announcements and talk. And then the big feast area in the center, and places for people where people can dance and move around the room and meet. So they lead you in, and they I think they have like a horn, which is from another culture, like a way of announcing people. And so they blow this big horn, and everyone stops, and they're like, "Allow me to introduce Wonderful William, duly appointed representative for Andona, and his guests." And they let you in, and the girls, Claudette, Laurette, and Paulette, all are like, how? Oh my goodness, he didn't introduce us. And I think one of them's like, I'm gonna go talk to him. And she like breaks off to go and she starts berating the announcer guy. And a second later, he's like, oh yes, of course. And Forrest. And he looks, and she's like, says some stuff, and he's like, champion of the Wavebreaker family. And he's like, says it like gross, like he says it like he's not happy about it. And so like, and she's like, and like heads back over like, look how good I did. She's like, they would do well to respect you.
I agree.
Respect.
Yes. And the others are like, why didn't I do that? And so they sort of lead you in, and they let you get some food. And the girls, of course, are like, you know, dealing with your plate, so you don't have to like carry a plate with your hands. What are you doing, William?
Well, I'm doing the rounds. I'm hobnobbing, meeting with everyone, making sure everyone, gets noticed and appreciated. And
All right. So you're making your rounds. You notice that, of course, there is no representative of the Wavebreakers here because you are the representative of the Wavebreakers.
Ooh.
But it seems like maybe they weren't informed. So there is a place where the Wavebreakers could sit here. Do you make your way over to that
nope.
table? Nope. Okay.
No.
Do you make it known that you are meant to be a representative of the Wavebreaker?
Yeah,
family?
I basically say I do let them know that I have been asked to represent the Wavebreakers, and I do make a point of assuring them that they are making attempts to break off from their influence of the deep and work. I am personally trying to oversee their break from that evil ways, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes. Well, hopefully you can do so. Hopefully you can do some good there. I think you get is like the general feeling as you're introducing them or telling people about that. Raven, what are you doing in this room?
I will go over and sit at the Wavebreaker table.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're the only one sitting there.
Yeah.
It does have some spare chairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, because William can't very well represent the Wavebreakers and Andona. You can't sit in two seats at the same time. I mean, you could make that happen. But, I'll just sit here, and then William could, I'll represent the Wavebreakers for William and report to him anything that people want to tell me about the Wavebreakers.
Okay. I do think someone comes up, and they're like, are you the representative from the Wavebreaker family?
I am representing the representative of the Wavebreaker.
Representing the representative of the Wavebreaker family. I thought Wonderful William was the representative, or
He's
at
over
least
there.
the one they sent. Oh, so
Yeah.
you're representing Wonderful William.
For now.
Good to know.
Until my master gets here. And then, who knows?
Your master. Oh, good. Who's your master? And I think then we hear the horn.
Hold on.
And that's probably a good place to introduce Adelaide.
Hold on, I'm typing something to you.
Stop
Typing the
typing.
thing.
What are you typing? Where are you typing?
You realize that he can't look at it without breaking the cameras, right?
No, I whispered you a message in.
Oh, yeah, I
in
can look at that.
The thing. I was. Yeah.
Oh,
It's in the
okay.
yeah.
People can't see that, right? Because I spelled things wrong, including my own name. I was trying to do it fast.
Oh, okay. And so the guy comes over, the horn blows, and they say, introducing Ptolemus the Arcanist and Adelaide the Wizard. And everyone like stops, like, oh, wizard. And they're like, everyone turns, and that the guy like looks over, that you were just talking to, Raven?
And so you see my father and I who walk in together, and we're wearing our finery, and both like trying to look as much the part of the Ulari family should look in the eyes of the Kilsang.
Are you wearing Kilsang colors? Like, are you wearing the black and purple of the Kilsang family?
He is wearing black and purple, like definitely looking as much like he's wearing the colors of the Kilsang. I would be wearing probably just like a black dress, probably like my skin and the dress are like the same color. The dress is probably like, you know, sparkly and skin tight and moves like water when I move kind of thing. Nice. So it almost looks like the dress is magic kind of thing. Dad may have enchanted the dress for me.
Enchanted to do a little wave.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so everyone stops and they're like, you get the gasp of the crowd, and they like allow you to enter. Do you stick with your dad or?
We probably walk around and like say hi to other people of the other families before kind of splitting off. So we probably do a lap kind of thing, lap of the party.
Excellent. So you're making your rounds. Wonderful William, you're also making your rounds around the room. What do you say to that guy after he turns?
Oh, Raven's not at the table anymore. Raven is now directly behind Adelaide.
So he was talking to you. Did you magic that? Like, did you do some magic to appear? Okay, yeah. So was it like a teleporting kind of thing?
Sure.
Okay, are you like gonna do some magic?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do.
Let's see how this turns out. He's gonna end up up my butt or something.
Yeah, so like the guy's talking to me, and then Adelaide comes in, and then Raven just steps out from behind Adelaide.
Nice.
What? Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
so anytime he wants to be a creeper, always gonna roll.
So what's the one thing that goes wrong?
Choose two. The one thing that goes wrong is, where are my options? I forgot where I wrote down the options of the things that go wrong. Oh, there they go.
Couldn't you just say like you left a feather in the chair or something?
Two things that go right and one thing that goes wrong. Two things that go right is safety and targeting.
Okay, so it works more. So it does not work more or less the way you remember it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think so. You got an 11, right? So this is you did well. I think there's like a rush of wind and a loud pop at the place that you left as the air like goes to fill the vacuum that you just left. And this dude is like sucked towards it and gets like slammed into the table, so he's like wham. And he's like, whoa. Like, kind of dizzy, and then he looks and sees that happen, and he looks back and he's like, where did that guy go? And he like shakes his head and like wanders off.
Oh, I forgot to say. So I'm wearing my teardrop that we got in Andona. And I'm like
your tearlet?
Proudly, my tearlet. I thought it was a teardrop, sorry. Tearlet thing. And then I'm proudly holding my dragon bunny. Like, for everyone to see, like my exotic pet.
Yeah.
Knowing that this is like the trading place, and that like anything exotic is kind of cool and appreciated. I would definitely have my I guess it's a bunny toad presented kind of thing, and I'm wearing my tearlet thing.
Okay.
Who has Andona's blood sword?
I do.
Yeah, that would be the champion of Andona over there.
Forrest, I'm going to say, since you haven't been caring for your manticore all this time, it got away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when you jumped off the cliff into the river three sessions ago, it just like stopped at the edge and was like, no,
Nope.
not doing that.
Nope.
Probably ate a few of the serpent people and then left. Maybe it'll come back someday.
You're a giant Manticore.
Yeah. That thing was awesome.
So while I'm doing the rounds, I'm actually informing people of the newest thing I've researched and found out what was the problem of the Wavebreakers. Because, I do feel maybe we could repair some of the relationship. And that, they had dug into Blackstone and unearthed the Deep Ones, and the Deep Ones had taken over Locke, and the Deep Ones requested that they had to make a sacrifice of a wizard in order to complete their plans, and that's why they killed Adelaide's boyfriend. And
oh man, you're tying it all together.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's
layers
all
upon
one
layers.
big story now.
So you're telling people that, and one of the representatives of the Sunil family makes their way over to you, and says, "Excellent story you've been telling."
Thank you.
She's
Go
wearing
on.
she's wearing the colors of the Sunil family. She's wearing one of those elaborate Andonan headdresses that they wear, or like reverse tiaras. I think I described them as.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like autumn colors. I think is the Sunil family wears a lot of autumn colors. And she leans in and she says, excellent portrayal of their dealings.
Fall from grace, really.
Yes, you've perfectly captured the real the real malice that lives within each one of them in this fanciful tale.
Yeah. And hopefully that they can come back from that influence and become contributing members to society.
Yes. If only they hadn't decided to slaughter an entire people in order to get to a quarry, which of course our family already provided Blackstone to the Kelsang family.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps if they had decided to stay in their own business.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And hopefully their greed will be subside in this wake of losing their horrid leader.
I agree. Well, with you as their representative and the duly
I like to feel that I
appointed-
represent all who have a good story to tell.
Well, that's good.
I'm just overseeing to make sure that they stay on the straight and narrow, and there aren't any more dark influences within their house.
Well, that is excellent, and I think that would be very beneficial to our family and perhaps to you as well as the spokesperson. Perhaps you could garner a deal between our families.
I believe I could. What do you have to offer?
And she looks around and she goes, perhaps we could speak in less crowded surroundings.
Sure, why not? This can't possibly go badly for me.
So she looks around and sees your she's like, and your retinue.
Who? Oh, them. Yeah, they're not important.
And he writes down. You see a single tear as he writes down, "I am not important." It's just like, and she's like, "Well, of course, we wouldn't want everything recorded. Perhaps your assistant would like to partake of a dance."
Have at.
Someone from another person wearing Sunil colors. So she like snaps and someone comes over and they look like they're here to dance and entertain people. And so she like goes over and like tries to take him out on the towards the dance area. Yeah. Take him out politely, distract him. And he's like, "Sir, I think I should be by your side in case you need any assistance or advice."
Don't worry, that you'll be around when if anything's decided to write up the contracts or deal as it may. And
well, I so what do you mean poof? Like
just start following her.
Okay, so you just like go away.
Cartoon puff of smoke. He's gone.
So he's like, all right, I do what I'm told. So he like he puts his book away and lets this woman take him out to the dance floor. And do you keep your guards or do you send them to like go find somewhere to stand?
No, I'm fine. They can just hang out and have a drink or sit in the chairs.
Okay.
Take a load off. There's like a whole table of chairs that aren't being used. Enjoy.
So they go over to sit and there's like this like dizzy guy like wandering away from the wave breaker area, and they go stand by their post next to the seating area for the wave breakers, and cut over to where Adelaide is. Another representative of the Sunil family comes up and they say, I've heard of your impressive accomplishments in Andona. And they sort of like bow deeply. It is a great pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you. I was only doing my duty as a wizard should.
Do you know they still sing your praises? Wonderful William and yourself?
Yes, well, William has done me quite the service of taking the attention on our actions in Andona so that I can continue to conduct my aid and my work as I go without being, followed by too many adoring fans. It's hard to work as a wizard when there's too many people about.
Yes, I understand that. I would be remiss if I didn't thank you personally, though, for saving my nephew. He was caught out in Andona when you were there, and I thank you.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'm glad that we could have been of service to you and your family.
If you don't mind, Priya, I think it's Priya, would like to give you her thanks as well for the things you've done in Andona and the things that you've done for us. Your actions there greatly helped our family's holdings there.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to speak with Priya.
Excellent. I believe someone else is already gathering your associate. So perhaps if you follow me, your guest would, of course, be welcome.
And I'll look at Father and I'll say, Father, why don't you continue to speak with the people here of Amaran and continue our work, and I kind of look at him like he knows, go schmooze.
Yeah.
Our work tonight. And I know Raven's there. Like I saw I heard the pop and everything, right?
Yeah.
And so I would then look at Raven and I would say, I would need to bring my familiar with me.
Of course, of course.
Thank you.
Yes,
Raven?
you've garnered. That is not a problem. And she sort of she's like, did you call him father? Did you say father to,
Yes.
to your dad? She says, oh, and of course your father will get will be well taken care of. And she sort of like waves a couple people over, and they come over and they're like, oh, and they're like talking to him and says, so you work with this, and like they're sort of chatting him up, and like taking him towards like the buffet and things like that.
So I kind of like squeeze Dad's hand as we kind of like walk off in opposite directions, just like a bye, Dad. And walk in opposite directions. We knew what we were coming here for tonight. Like
Yeah.
we both like knew that that's why we wanted ourselves introduced in such a way, and I didn't come in with my friends, and we're trying to repair things for the Ularis. So
Right. Before you step away, he sort of leans in and he says, "Well done," and like turns to go with the other servants, and like, you know. So she leads you off towards the back. Raven? What are you doing?
Following Adelaide.
Okay.
Just being a familiar, basically, like in every other campaign where I'm just kind of going around following my master, but not drawing any attention whatsoever. It's almost as if it wasn't there.
Yeah, a familiar that doesn't exist until it's relevant, and then
Yeah.
disappears again.
yeah,
Yep.
the most appropriate familiar.
Right.
Yep.
Um.
No, just being out of the way, unobtrusive, not stepping on her dress.
Awesome. Forrest, what's going on with you?
I am currently apologizing to the women that brought me to the party.
Paulette, Laurette, and Claudette.
Mm-hmm.
What for?
Well, because when I saw Adelaide come in, I shoved them off their chairs and out of the view.
Oh, I feel like you've been sitting waiting to say that for like the last 10 minutes. It's so amazing.
They're not with me. They're not with.
Did you shove them like away from you, like I'm alone, or did you shove them like they were in the way and you were like, move?
Or did you
No, I
shove them in their chairs down, and so they fell behind the table?
I just shoved them away from me. Like,
And they're like, Forrest, how dare you? What do you, what? And they like look around the room, and one of them notices that Adelaide had come in, and they're like, her again with this?
no, there was something I felt like you were in danger, and I needed to save you. All
Save
three of
us.
you at the same time.
Well, I buy it.
Because that's what
I
heroes
definitely
do.
buy it, yeah. And they're like, they like pause for a second, and you can tell that one of them is not like, one of them's like, okay, that's total bullshit. But then the other two are like, oh, that's so brave of you. And they jump in, and the other one's like, ah, and like, you know, turns to be like upset, looking off the other way.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And they're like,
Three
well, what?
floozies agree.
And they're like, what was it? What was coming to get us? How would you have protected us? Like trying to get you to.
I didn't think this all the way through.
He's trying the William thing he learned.
Yeah, and it's
Making up stories is hard.
Well, you see, there was a danger, and I would have punched it.
all you need to know is that for a split second, had I needed to swing, you couldn't be there, and so I hid you from the danger. Honestly, it was so fast I didn't even see it.
Oh, yes. So, so brave of you. And another one's like, oh, you finished your food, and looks to the one that's kind of pissed, and they're like, oh, Paulette, would you go and get him some more? So she like runs off to get you some food. And
I
we
assume she's not very happy about any of that.
no, she's definitely. I think she was on the far end, anyways. Like there was one on either side of you, and then she was on the far end. So she like legit hit the ground when you pushed them away. Like she fell off the bench and like onto the ground.
Got a grass stain on her fine linens.
Yeah. So that's happening. She goes to get you some food, and she's like mad about it. She's like, stupid thing.
I'll be like, don't forget
Cool.
something to drink as well, please.
She's like doing that. So in the back in the back rooms of or I should say the I guess what would we call this room, like a conference room? It doesn't seem right. I guess maybe like
Too modern.
yeah. But so there's like a meeting area.
This is where you do the business.
Yeah, it's where you do the business. And Priya Sunil is sitting on a very comfortable looking lavish chair with at sort of a meeting table, and there are a bunch of pillows and things to sit on, and like stools and what are those things called? Tufts. To sort of sit on around it. And the two people lead you in together and announce you to Priya. And they say, Adelaide, and the other one's like, wonderful, William. May we introduce Priya Sunil.
I give her a deep head nod.
I as well, but
not quite
not
a
as
curtsy.
deep.
Not
Okay.
as deep.
Not as deep, no.
Okay.
And she does a, sort of a quick bow. She says, please come in. We have much to discuss.
All right.
The two of you, if I am to believe my brother, what was his name?
Ed.
No, it was definitely
Khan.
more fancy than that.
If I am to believe my brother Khan, saved the town of Andona. Is that true?
We did.
I did.
Had a nasty ooze problem.
Yes. His report said that a disgruntled former employee had taken to messing with otherworld forces.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you were able to stop them.
Yes.
that sounds like us.
They were putting quite a damper on our business there. So I thank you for your intervention in that place. He said that you were unorthodox and dangerous, but effective.
Yeah.
Would
That's
that
on my business
describe
card.
you? Yes. Yes, of course.
I believe what we are is effective, and
She said that.
and we try to minimize the damage that is caused, but sometimes it's unavoidable. In magic can be a little unpredictable sometimes.
Yes. Strange it that part didn't come over in his report. I do agree that magic can be unpredictable when you don't want to explain it.
Do you want to know what your employee was doing?
It's not terribly important, unless you feel that it would add some clarity to the whole situation.
You had said that,
Oh, it's just a common excuse of arcane types when they want to keep someone in the dark, that is.
well, that's why I'm willing to be as transparent as possible, and if you'd like more details, I'm willing to share them with you.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. That may prove very valuable in the coming time.
In the defense of myself and other arcane artists, the reason we tend to be a little less specific is because most people don't really understand the way arcane magic works, and trying to explain to someone who doesn't have the skill or the ability to use such things, unfortunately, it'd be like trying to explain to someone the inner workings of the trade business. And if you weren't a part of that, it would almost feel daunting or exhausting to have to go to the lengths to explain your whole business and how it runs. And that's the same thing, I think, for arcane magic. Oftentimes it's easier to make it sound mystifying and too difficult to explain, when there are definitely explanations, but it would take much more effort to explain exactly in detail what happened.
I've heard this speech before when I was rejected from Miss Kelsang's academy. Yes, I've heard a very similar speech before. But
What a bitch.
aside from that, I have a little bit of an issue that you've already laid the groundwork with solving. And I would love to hear your thoughts on it. You see, I don't think we're going to roll for a little while. Let me switch that back. You see, the Wave Breakers sought to undermine our... is your friend okay? He seems to be a little fidgety.
What? No, that's just Raven. That's how he is.
Okay. Just as long as he's all right.
Absolutely.
Would you like something? We can get you something to drink or eat.
No.
Oh, okay. You see, our primary import into this city is the black onyx that we quarry. However, our quarry is quite far away, which allows us to mark it up quite a bit, as it's not easy to get to. Another quarry was, of course, recently discovered in the last decade or so, in Blackstone. Up to this point, though, it would have been too difficult to get the goods from Blackstone here to Amerin, as there was a heavily occupied swamp in the in-between. Over the last several years, the Wave Breakers have taken to reducing its population.
It's called genocide.
Yes. And in an effort to gain access to Blackstone. Of course, this would be very bad for us, as Blackstone is much closer, and they would be able to provide this black onyx cheaper, easier, quicker than we could, should they get access to that mine or that quarry. And she looks right at Wonderful William and she says, your tale of a haunted Blackstone might prove to be very useful.
Go on.
If we could convince the people that stone from Blackstone was cursed or otherwise unusable, then, of course, they wouldn't be able to use the quarry in any meaningful way.
Well, are you saying that I should spin a falsehood?
Oh, I think you're well versed in spinning effective tales.
Effective 100% true tales of things that really happened.
Like how the Blackstone cursed Locke and made him what was it? A victim of the old ones?
Well, the deep ones, yes.
Well, the deep
Can
ones,
you
yes,
come up
the
with
deep
another
ones.
explanation?
Oh, I can't. It's an excellent explanation. And of course, no one would want to go back there for fear of corruption from the deep ones.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think if you were to go back to the Wavebreakers and tell them that it would be unwise to pursue quarrying Blackstone any further, and of course continue sharing the tale of Locke the Corrupted. That would suit us just fine.
Why?
So, well, I think they've established the why.
No. I know why they want it done. Why should we do it?
Well,
I feel like we've helped your family quite a bit, and we owe you nothing.
Oh,
So why?
this is not. I would not presume to commission Wonderful William's services without ample payment. And, of course, access to any of our caravans should you need safe travel.
So that's a reason why maybe Wonderful William would help you. Why do you need me?
Well,
Why do you need me at all?
we'd like to... I assumed you were a group. The two of you, that is. But if you are not part of... Wonderful William does not see a need for your assistance, of course, you do not have to participate in any meaningful way.
I'm wondering what money would be. There's something else I want.
Oh, well, that I can help with.
Because I am very willing to help William in any way possible, seeing as he is my very good friend, ally, and, as the two people who saved Andona, your nephew, and everyone else living in that town, he and I work very well together. So of course I'm willing to help William in anything he asks of me.
Of course, I've witnessed such. What is it that you want, Adelaide Ulari?
I want my family's honor reinstated, and I want them reinstalled as the official arcanists for the Kilsang family, and I want your help with that.
That might be difficult.
You are the second most powerful family in the city. How would that be difficult for you?
Kind of you to say, though we are still third on the ladder. Tell you what. Our contract with the Kelsangs for transportation and commission of arcane goods is due for renegotiation. If perhaps we could slip something in there that required your father to create a certain number of said items. I don't know if I could get him reinstated as their head arcanist, but I could get him a foot in the door.
I mean, whatever you can do to help
Of course.
would be much appreciated.
I would be happy to lend my clout to your family's plight.
Then I see no reason why I can't help in making sure no one is cursed by the Blackstone.
I agree. Perhaps you could
Be right back.
make a point of yep, sure. Perhaps you could make a point of lending some weight to the claims of... Oh, the murderer is there.
The murderer's here!
The murderer showed up at Nightson's house. Perhaps you could lend a little arcane weight to the claims that that any onyx from Blackstone is, of course, unusable and unfit.
Absolutely. I will personally test the stone myself to confirm or deny that there is any curse.
Of course. I believe you'll be able to acquire some through the Wavebreaker estate, which William has so graciously connected himself.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, is there anything else that either of you require?
Well, I would just remind you that should anything go awry, there's nothing stopping an intrepid group of adventurers from clearing the Blackstone caves out from the deep ones and making it safe for all to use once again.
Yes, that would be rather unfortunate, wouldn't it?
It's a good thing that would take a very powerful wizard to do, and I seem to be the only one around, so as long as things keep going well between us, I don't see any reason why I would need to take the effort to see if that's something I might be able to accomplish.
You might have a little bit more skill as a trader than a wizard, I think, but...
Oh, I've been learning from the best, and I kind of look over at William.
Very well. If there's anything else...
Oh, like, turn around and look at Raven. Raven, is there anything you require?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't see any reason why we can't move forward.
Very
William?
well. As you are aware, all contracts must be signed at the Kelsang family gathering, but I don't see any reason that this needs to be an official contract, if you don't.
You are aware of the costs and the consequences, so yeah, no, I feel...
I agree.
So I'm gonna put my hand out to shake her hand.
Mm-hmm. She takes it.
And as she takes my hand, I start like doing what looks like magic over our handshake.
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit, but she doesn't know that.
Can you roll to trick her?
Yeah. What do you want me to trick her with?
Well, I think this is defy danger with int,
Okay.
and the danger is that she knows it's bullshit.
Okay. Defy danger.
Oh boy. Okay. So you
Suck it.
so you actually do need to. So you get a sense, like when you touch her hand, you can tell that she's got some magical ability.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she's no wizard.
I could tell because she was talking shit.
Yeah. But she's got some hedge witch stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like casting prestidigitation on her hand, and she doesn't know what it is.
Right. So you know that you'd have to dump a little bit of power in there, but obviously it's not like a binding spell or anything. You
Right.
just are...
It's more like I make our hands really warm
Mm-hmm.
while I'm casting magic, so it feels like something arcane is going on. Right?
Yeah. So you do some bullshit,
So
but she senses some power there, and she's like, she side eyes you like, what was that?
A magical contract. Sometimes they don't need to be signed. Sometimes it's just a handshake.
Well, we'll be sure not to break that one, won't we? So she like finishes the handshake and says, "Oh, please, you and your friends are welcome to anything available here at the party, and if you need anything,
That was a mistake.
if you need anything from us, you have only to ask." And she mentions the person that went to get Wonderful William. Oh, you know what? We need a name for her. I have a list of names. Let's do...
Quick names.
Ed. Edwina.
I was like, it's a girl.
Let's do
Edette.
Nandini.
Weird fucking names.
Edwina
This
Lynn.
Nandini.
Non-Deanie.
Nandini will, of course, be available to you should you need her. And if
Please
you
tell me
have any
she's like-
requests.
Please tell me she's the daughter of Mr. Dakini from the bookstore.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
Do you say that to her?
Yeah.
She says, "Oh, no relation. I am familiar with Mr. Dakini, though. If you do require anything, I could, of course, reach out to
He
him."
doesn't have anything good.
Oh, okay. Well, if you need anything, you can come to me.
I need the book. I need William Scribe's book.
Well, that
Very
seems...
important that I have it.
She sort of
become Rocket Raccoon.
yeah, you now Rocket Raccoon. She sort of nods and she's like, understood. And so she sort of like nods her head. And Priya looks to you all and says, "Now, please go enjoy the party. I must go make an appearance."
All right.
So as we walk out together, I would whisper to William, we'll need to have a meeting with the wave breakers to test the stone and publicly announce my findings that you can then spread the tale of. That will give us more leverage to this story we're going to be telling.
Sure, why not?
The facts will be what we create them.
What we need is a sacrifice.
I kind of think the same thing, but we should definitely discuss this after the party when there's a lot less people around.
So you guys head back into the party.
Mm-hmm.
So what mischief is Forrest getting up to? I think definitely some like attractive young animal folk has come up and like, "Oh, I saw you fighting."
Yeah, I'm pretty much drunk at this point and am just making a fool of myself, referring to these women in the most just...
You don't have to be creepy about it.
Non-politically correct way possible.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not very gentlemanly, I guess you could say, and
I think some of them are like they. Okay, so all right. So you're they've probably gotten you up to dance at some point, and so they're like dragging you around the dance floor, and like other women have like started to interject, right? Because you seem desirable. These women obviously desire you, so let's get in there and dance. And they're obviously working as a team to try to like fend off other approachers. So like anytime someone comes to dance with you, they'll like spin them to another one and like get them out of there to try to keep you all to themselves. Mm-hmm. But if you're being crass with them, then they will stand up for themselves. If you say something, I don't know, if you say something sort of vulgar to them, they're gonna like stop and like, what did you say?
No, it's more of, I would say, with like the women that I've not seen before, especially with the races that I've not seen before, I make no attempt at being I don't know, sensitive to pointing out that they have a tail. And
Whoa,
you know,
you've got a tail.
yeah, so I'll like literally just kneel down and be like, take their tail and just like play with their tail, you know, or
Gotcha.
just,
Okay.
basically just, you know, whenever Forrest
Weird
is
boundaries.
fascinated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Outside thoughts are becoming outside thoughts.
So I think okay, so obviously this is offending the strangers, so the girls probably don't stop you from doing that because they're like, oh well, this is gonna be fine. nobody's gonna see that happen. One of there's probably you get like a fox or a fox folk.
Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
She's foxy.
And like you grab her tail and she like flips around and she's like, never without my permission. And one of the girls is like, okay, go on you go. And she's like, no. She looks right at you and she's like, I didn't tell you could do that.
Sorry, it was there.
So fluffy.
And
Yeah,
she's like, how would you feel if I, and she like starts like grabbing you. And she's like, ooh, look at this. Look at these fleshy chest bits. And she's like rubbing your chest.
I start flexing and stuff for her.
Oh, look, he's got a leg. And she's like, you know, picking your leg up.
I love it.
I feel you're in a losing battle, miss.
Can
puts
I? Can I be like, I've come out from behind like the whatever, and I'm just standing like at the top of the stairs, kind of just leaning against a wall, watching this happen.
And so she like puts it down and she's like, ugh, how? And she looks at the girls and she's like, how could you stand it? And she like the little fox like gets mad and leaves.
Yeah, I would just be like, well, where are you off to? We were just starting to have fun.
She's like, I've never what? She like scuttles off like all pissed. And the girls are like, see, you just leave them alone. You don't need them. You've got us. And one of them's like, you could touch me. And she's like, you know, putting your hand on her back and stuff. I don't have a tail though.
Yeah. You don't.
She's all sad. She's like, oh.
She could have a tail. Does she want a tail? Do you want her to have a tail?
This is an act of negotiation here.
Yeah, are you as the character, are you actually coming up to me and asking me that?
No.
Okay.
I would imagine he has the ability to sense those kind of opportunities and just show up.
Like, would you like to make a deal?
So
I'm not very happy with you. I don't know if you know that. You've turned my head into a
It got better.
Not bad.
after like
It got
a
better.
week of. It got better. Yeah.
Yeah, it turned your head into a week of one-on-one time with Adelaide giving you a scalp massage. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh
Well,
my
who's
Lord.
jealous now?
And the girls are like, she did what?
Oh. Well, obviously you know about my temporary transformation.
Yes. And one of them's like, looked better before.
Anyways, it was causing me an urge to headbutt people, and Adelaide felt as though that was a bad idea, so we had
Well,
it.
you should have headbutted her
removed.
then.
Headbutted Adelaide?
Yeah. Maybe she deserves a headbutt.
I think you deserve to shut your mouth.
On her mouth.
Yeah.
You're gonna cast a spell on her mouth?
She can't talk that way about my
No,
mouth.
no, just actually just pinch her lips to get her lips. together.
Yeah.
With your face of
You should probably stop talking about Adelaide.
Yeah. You don't get to say those things.
She's like,
Hello, Forrest.
mm. She's like trying to push you off of her.
I like walk up behind
Yeah, no,
you.
she's gone.
How? You enjoying
I just
the
shoved him out of the
party?
way again. I heard Adelaide and I went,
Are you enjoying the party?
Oh.
yeah, exactly.
Trying to knock over the sound screen over here.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just asking if you're having a good time.
Well, I look pretty nice, don't you think?
You do. You look very nice. I like the vest, and I kind of like reach over and like touch the vest, making sure like I don't actually touch your skin. I just touch the material. I'm like, it's very nice. I like your vest.
And one of the girls like scoots in and like in between you and Forrest, and she's like, "I bought him that."
It's a very nice.
I just push her head down.
Forrest, be nice.
She's
Forrest, be nice. And I look at her and I said, "Did you get that at
if you're gonna make some shit up, you gotta name it.
Just pick like a cheap store, like the cheapest store.
No
Yeah.
way, man. I'm wearing.
Did you-
I'm wearing.
Did,
I'm
no,
dressed to the
it's I
nines.
say that as like one of the expensive places that are like up top.
Okay.
Like that it absolutely did not come from that place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did you
We're
get
talking-
that at the linen shop?
Linens and things.
Linens
For-
and things.
Forrest went from Conor McGregor 2008 to
Nope.
Conor McGregor 2018 wearing pinstripe
Yeah,
fuck you.
But these
Uh,
girls wouldn't have been able to get you up on the rise. Like you may have gotten like one of the nicer shops down below, but they definitely couldn't have gotten you up to the Kilsangs.
So she looks you over and she goes, "You know that we didn't."
Oh. Well, it's still really beautiful anyway.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're being a bitch.
You're like over here
Sorry, that was
defending it.
out-
I'm like,
that was out-
shut up, Forrest.
That was out of character. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like,
Oh, you're being mean to her. Ha.
oh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm like, oh, no, obviously. It's still very nice, though.
And she like looks at Forrest like, "Well,
Well, what?
she was just rude to me. Aren't you going to defend my honor?"
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to upset you. I was not trying to be rude.
She like gives you a like death stare
she
and
did.
turns back to Forrest.
She didn't even have to try.
And I kind of look her up and down, like mean girls do. And I ask, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Horde, is it?
Claudette. Oh, I was gonna guess. Dang it.
Oh, Claudette. Yes, I'm sure you know who I am, but I am Adelaide Ulari.
The murderer.
What race is she?
Oh,
She's human.
Huh?
She's human.
She's human. Okay. Did she call me the murderer?
Yeah.
6-yard dash.
It's it was a really unfortunate thing to have my love die that night, and very painful to have people think that it was me. Thank you for your insensitivity.
She like turns and looks at Forrest and she's like, "Well, I'm not gonna take this. We're leaving."
good, because I was just leaving with Adelaide.
And she's like, "Huh?" Like her face, like her whole face, just like,
I have miscalculated.
I. And
Okay, bye.
she just like, and sort of like dumbly, like just dumbfounded, sort of walks away.
As she kind of starts to walk away, I grab her hand, and I look at her like in the face, and I say, don't let this ruin your night. This is a wonderful party.
She just like stares blankly at you, like how dare you? And like turns and starts to walk away.
I walk over and I put my arm like in Forrest's arm, and I'll be like, my father was hoping to get to say hello to you before the party was over tonight.
Excellent. I was hoping we could share some food.
So I'll walk him over to Dad.
Ah,
Last time,
Adelaide!
because the last
Oh, go
time the last time I met him, I'm fairly certain I was just destroying the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
Yep. Yep.
Sorry. So he's like, "Oh, Adelaide, come sit. You must meet." And then he like, there's another elf there. He's like, "You must meet my friend."
Johnny
he hasn't.
Elf.
Yeah, Johnny Elf. What's your dad's name? Tell. It is Ptolemus. So let's go with something wizardly. Albus.
Albus. Great.
You must meet my friend Albus. Albus, you remember my daughter Adelaide? And he's like, yes, but she was quite small the last time I saw her.
It's very good to see you again, Albus.
And you
I'm gonna
too.
start-
Please join us. And your friend.
I'm gonna
Who's
start-
your friend?
Yes,
I'm
Forrest.
gonna, like, yeah,
What are you doing?
I'm totally Jim carrying this, like flexing and leaning against.
And
Totally being uncomfortable about it too.
and
Yeah.
your friend is he okay? He
Uh,
looks.
His weird little vest with the arms. It's just like, oh, these arms are so restrictive.
you know how these parties can be. Sometimes they're very uncomfortable, and especially when you're not the party type, this can be a very uncomfortable situation.
Yes, of course.
You know, Father, I don't particularly like these parties either, and I think that's something Forrest and I both share. The how awkward these can make you feel.
And your dad's sort of like, yes, well, being on this side of the party is never. I don't envy you. It was probably easier when you were entertaining.
Definitely more comfortable, guess.
Well,
I actually was wondering, Father, if you would mind taking a look at Forrest's gauntlets and seeing if there was anything you could do to make them more powerful.
oh, well, sure. Actually, Albus, you're, we used to work together, on this same sort of thing. Perhaps he'd like to take a look as well. Come, sit, Forrest.
Excellent.
So they sit down and they both like take a look. You know, they pull out little glasses or like a monocle thing, and like take a look at your gauntlets and they're like, oh, excellent. And where did you get these? And they're like, moving your arm around,
Yeah.
trying to look at how it connects to your body and like the chain and everything. Where did you get these beautiful contraptions?
Years ago, I was forced to become a fighter, and they decided the best way to ensure that I would fight is if they took something and gave me something else in return. And since then, I've had them improved slightly over the years.
You don't say. Well, they're quite a marvelous enchantment. And he like looks at him. He's like, oh, yes, I see. And what is their activation word? What must you say to issue them forth?
It's punching time.
There doesn't have to be one, by the way. It's just
Go,
what he
go
would have
Forest
assumed.
arms.
Right. I figured as much. I just swing them.
Oh, intuitive too. Very, very impressive. Well, what is it that you would like them to do better?
Smash.
Smash.
Mainly
all right.
smash and pulverize, maybe.
And Albus is like, well, perhaps if we increase their weight or their density, And and your dad's like, oh well,
I was
that
actually
might make them a little unwieldy.
I was actually wondering, is there any way to give him any more dexterity with them?
Animate them.
Yeah.
That would be, well, they're not quite. They're sort of bound the way that in their shape. We'd have to add some fluidity to the metal, and Albus is like, oh yes, and they'd have to respond to his. We wouldn't want them just going off on their own and grabbing things.
Oh, excuse me. You say what again?
What about grabbing things?
Well, of course, they'd have to be under your control. We wouldn't want them to just, you know.
I'm sure that's a small oversight, actually.
Yes. Tell you what, bring him to my shop tomorrow. I'll we could look over them. I'll this is an intriguing problem. Tell you what, Ptolemus, why don't we meet tomorrow morning and review? I've got some ideas, but I've got to get them down. Yes, come tomorrow afternoon to my shop.
Thank you so much, Albus.
Of course, of course.
I put my hands
Anything
on both
for
of them. I
Ptolemus'
like
daughter.
you guys. Just shake them around a little bit, show them
Would
how to
it be
like.
your fists?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I make sure to get them on their shoulders.
Don't want to hurt them.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt
They're
them.
little nerdy guys.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add there, Raven, as you're watching them discuss how to make his hands move?
No, because they're not actually doing anything. Kind of spitballing right now. And it's like
Mhm.
they have some sound theories, but I mean it's all wrong. But until they start actually trying to do anything,
We'll definitely have to take you to the meeting then.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my book? Where's my book? I need my book.
So let's so Wonderful William, is there anything else that you're doing at this party?
At this point, it's just making sure that I'm invited to the next one.
Okay, so just like going around and so you have to go and talk up the Assam family.
Yeah, I'm spending time with them, learning some of their history, some of their interesting things, and
So they one of their sort of they're the artisans. So one of them is like, that is a fine hat you've got there. How did you get the snake to? Did you craft it after the snake had died, or
Where did I get that?
from the snake temple? It's a snake turban.
Oh,
That's what you told me you were wearing.
yes, I found it actually.
Ah. So you didn't have it made specifically for you?
No.
Oh, well, perhaps I could take it in for you. It's does it set right? Does it wobble when you move about?
Yeah, I could probably use about a quarter-inch off it. Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I've never really worked with a full snake. So yes, bring it by any time. I'd be happy to work on that for you. In fact, we have many craftspeople that I'm sure would love to make your acquaintance. Tell you what, I formally invite you to the Assam family dinner.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
We will. Myself
don't
and my
for-
retinue will be pleased to attend.
Yes, of course. And don't forget, everyone who attends is required to show something they've created.
Noted.
All right. Sometime before the party, come by my shop. I would be happy to take in your snake hat. That would it'd be an interesting challenge.
All right.
All right. Let's give this guy a name. Let's go with Eden.
Get Ed eventually.
Huh?
Said
What'd
I
you
knew I'd get Ed eventually.
Ed eventually? Yeah, Eden the tailor. All right. So he offers for you to come to his shop, and he points out, oh, and I can see your friend is actually I recognize him. He a few ladies brought him in earlier in the week. He's crass.
That's a subtle way to put it, but yes.
No. His name is Forrest.
not crass.
Yeah.
So I think he's like, bring him in if he wants the rest of that shirt. The ladies were very insistent that not be much of a shirt at all. So if he wants the rest of it, you bring him in.
Noted.
Very well. So this has been a pleasure. But I must get going. And he you see the party's winding down. And we pan around the room and people are starting to close out the evening, and you see your you make your way back to your retinue, and he's like, my book, where is my book? Oh goodness. Oh, it was right here. And he's feeling in his pouch that he was keeping it in. And a young, we get to Raven, and as you guys are leaving, a young servant looking guy comes up, and he's like, hey, I got that thing for you. And he slips you this book.
Thanks.
Yes. Anything you need. Don't forget. And then he turns and scuttles off.
Yep. Yeah.
What?
What happened? Voraciously you eat the book?
Yep.
You eat the thing. But you
Yes.
probably shouldn't have.
Oh my.
Okay. Let's see. When you want to eat a thing, roll 9. You eat the thing, but you probably... Oh, wait. I gotta go to this so people can see it. But you probably shouldn't have. Try to eat something, anything, it doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
Okay. So, So you eat the thing.
Yeah.
But you definitely shouldn't have.
Yeah. It was very big. It was a very thick book.
So I think it's kind of terrifying when you eat something that because it's a big ass book, so you just your mouth just gets all big and you're like it's just going down, and I think there's people staring holy shit, what just happened? And then, you turn to look at Adelaide, and there's just a square right here in the center of your body.
Burp.
Chew. For God's sake, chew.
Oh. Excuse me.
Raven?
Yeah.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You just
Excuse me.
ate a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
That
don't-
book didn't exist.
I mean, are you sure you're alright?
Mm-hmm.
You can just
Oh,
do
yeah,
that? You can just eat things?
Almost anything.
I'm really worried about how that's gonna work itself out. Do you need to go lay down?
No. I'm okay. I just pat it. It's good.
Is that the book that William's scribe is looking for?
Yes. Probably. Maybe.
This is a reasonable chance.
You got rid of. Oh, that was a very good job, Raven.
Thanks.
Oh man.
And there's probably some people still staring at you as you guys leave, just how did he do it? You're just, and someone's and they're like, no, that's not a thing. People can't just do that. What is that thing?
Oh,
People are
So,
taking
yeah, so
out
there's-
books trying to fit it in their mouth.
Yeah, there's going to be some rumors about the terrible goblin that is apparently running around with giant unhinged vagina. Okay, cool. So
Everybody knows that I am Everybody know that I belong to Adelaide.
Yes.
It's like, don't mess with them.
Oh
They're
man.
weird.
And we see like the guards just like don't worry, buddy, it's gonna be fine. We'll find your book, and like pushing him out the door like after Wonderful William, and you guys leave the
So,
party.
As
Go
we're
ahead.
as we're kind of walking home,
Mhm.
I want to look at Forrest. Forrest, is wanting your hands more usable something you want? I kind of asked for it, but I didn't really ask you if that's something that you would want.
Yeah, I would love that. I haven't had usable who was that? Is that you?
Sorry,
I haven't had
in my chest. That book. Oh,
yeah. Everybody I haven't had I haven't been able to pick up anything in 18 years.
It'd be nice to be able to hold your hand.
I think it would be nice to hold your hand too.
And then, we walk home.
aw, so cute. Well, thank you everybody for watching Paper Scandal Dungeon World. If you're interested in watching more shows like this, you can head over to pixelscandal.com and follow all of our cool stuff that we do. You can watch us live on twitch.tv/pixelscandal. What's that?
We gotta do XP.
Okay. All right. You know what? We'll do XP. I think in the
In between?
Yeah, we'll do XP in between.
Okay.
If you really want to see us do XP and that kind of stuff, if that's something you'd like to see keep on stream, then you can email us pixelscandal@gmail.com and tell us, hey, why aren't you doing the XP on the show anymore?
Do that shit on stream.
Yeah, you can tell us that. Otherwise, we're gonna probably do that stuff off stream,
Cool.
or in like off cam or off stream debrief. All right. But thank you so much for watching. Come back tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard for Pixel Scandal Nerdcast, where we'll be talking about games that are great for the family and gaming with non-gamers.
During the holidays.
During the holidays. So, thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.
Very well.
Bye.